Okay, I wanted to preface this dream with the understanding that within the dream, I know who I am, and I understand the characters within the dream. But for me as a person outside the dream, I don't know who these people are. I don't have a sister named Nora, nor do I know what my name was within the dream. So I'm going to start. This was Tuesday, June 9th, so it was last night. I just purchased a home in a lower middle class neighborhood and had just moved in. My sister Nora asked if she could do her laundry at my place because her washer was broke. We had been very low contact for a few years, but I was never sure why. She was a couple years older than me, and I longed to have family around again. When we were younger, we had been close, but for some reason, she pulled away. Our parents were gone, and we had no other family. I wanted to get to know my nieces. They were 7 and 9 years old. I showed Nora and the girls around the place after she had put a load in the washer. She had so many clothes, several baskets and bags just filled the laundry room. I was just happy to be in contact again. The girls were excited about exploring the backyard, even though it was mostly just bare dirt. I knew the place was outdated, but I had some ideas on how to make it my own. I pointed those out. I made lunch, and the girls went and played in the backyard again. Nora was folding clothes in the living room, and I had wanted to talk to her for a while to find out what happened, why she had pulled away, and I ached for some kind of family life. I hadn't been around any kind of family for so long, and I wanted that so bad in my life. Anyway, I made some coffee for both of us and sat in the living room just chatting about life while she folded clothes. I noticed how tired she looked. She was gray and early and wore this threadbare, oversized sweater, and she looked worn out. I finally broached the subject and asked if she would like to get together regularly, maybe start doing things together. She was sitting on the floor with a huge pile of clothes in front of her. She was folding and set them to the side. She would fold a piece, set it to the side. She had glanced up and smiled at me, but it wasn't like a real smile. It was like something between a grimace and a smile. And she had started shaking her head, said, "I appreciate you letting me use your laundry, but we're not friends. We're connected because we came from the same parents, but that's it." And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. She wasn't outwardly hostile, but it seemed like she had this anger that was directed at me. And she said, maybe if you made some changes, people would care about you more. And that hurt. I felt wounded. But I asked her, I said, "What changes? I'm just me. I'm trying to be the best me I can be." And she was shaking her head again. She stood up. She put her hand on her hip. And I knew something had struck a nerve. And she goes, "Well, maybe that's the problem. You wear weird clothes and you don't even clean up very well. No one wants to be around someone like you." I stood up then. She was deliberately trying to hurt me, and I didn't know why. I finally told her to get her shit together and get out of my house and never ask me for anything again. And she actually smiled as she was getting her things together. Then I was in the living room by myself. There were several pairs of flip-flops and the girl's swimwear she had left in the laundry room that I was going to have to bag up and put them on the porch so she could pick them up. But I didn't want to make that call. Then I woke up.